The University of Virginia quietly moved earlier this month to eliminate its DEI office. I say it was done quietly because we still haven't seen the school acknowledge the move publicly, and it's been 10 days. UVA is now getting heat over the politically tinged move from a group called the American Association of University Professors, which is pressing the school's Board of Visitors to, quote, immediately reverse course. Chris Graham here, Augusta Free Press. Good luck on that, right? As far as that goes. But here's a quote from a letter from a Dr. Timothy Gibson, who's a professor at George Mason University and also the president of the Virginia Conference of the American Association of University Professors. The quote from the letter: "We further call on the board to end its complicity in advancing Governor Youngkin's partisan agenda, an agenda that undermines the core values of higher education, including transparency, equal access, diversity, non-discrimination, and free and open inquiry." All right. So now we got the stakes are out there, right? The letter from the AAUP hits at the core of what's really going on with the BOV vote ending DEI at UVA. Boy, a lot of acronyms there, and one more. It's all about MAGA politics. Now, the only official recognition of this vote on March 7th is from a press release from the office of Governor Glenn Youngkin, which was from March 7th, so 10 days ago still. That's all we have on the record publicly commenting on the UVA board vote. The AAUP letter makes note of the odd silence from UVA over the move. In violation of AAUP principles, Gibson said faculty at the University of Virginia were almost completely shut out of the decision-making process. In fact, this decision was made in a closed session with little public notice and no materials were provided to the university community before the vote was taken. It's an outrage, Gibson said. We are looking into whether UVA's Board of Visitors violated Virginia's public meeting laws when it made the decision to shut down the campus diversity, equity, and inclusion office. All right, got that on the table. Um, I'm saying it's pretty clear that the BOV violated the state's Freedom of Information Act. The FOI, among other things, requires that an action item needs to be included on the board's agenda, quote, at least 7 calendar days prior to a meeting. The only item that might relate to the DEI matter listed on the Board of Visitors schedule for that March 7th full meeting was a, quote, closed meeting scheduled to run from 3 to 4 p.m. that Friday afternoon. There was no notation on the schedule that the quote closed meeting would involve discussion of the DEI office. We only know from after the fact that board members discussed the closure of the office in that closed meeting. So the Board of Visitors does appear to have violated state public meeting laws, and it did so to do the political bidding of the MAGA governor, who himself is acting at the behest of Donald Trump, who issued a January 21st executive order that terms DEI programs as, quote, dangerous, demeaning, and immoral. Now, the BOV resolution makes an effort to tone down the sound and fury from Trump. It attempts to cast the move as merely ensuring that, quote, all university programs, policies, practices, and actions in every regard comply with the Equal Protection Clause of the U.S. Constitution, Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, and other federal civil rights laws. All right, that sounds official. The resolution also requires UVA President Jim Ryan to, quote, report back within 30 days to update the board on the university's progress in complying with this resolution and present any substantial policy changes for approval in compliance with Executive Order 14173, federal law, and any new guidance from federal authorities. 30 days from March 7th is Sunday, April 6th. They imagine they might give him another day until Monday, April 7th. Here's a quote from Youngkin in that press release, again, from 10 days ago, the only public recognition to this point of the Board of Visitors vote. The Board of Visitors voted for common sense, saying no to illegal discrimination and yes to merit-based opportunity. He also said that our MAGA governor, DEI is done at the University of Virginia. We stand for the universal truth that everyone is created equal and opportunity is at the heart of Virginians and Americans' future. All right, well, that's awfully nice of him. Everyone who is white is created equal, I guess we could be saying there. The counter from Gibson, our guy from the AAUP. For decades, university offices of diversity, equity, and inclusion have been an indispensable means for eliminating discriminatory practices and opening the university to faculty and students who for generations were systematically excluded from American higher education. UVA didn't admit blacks until the late 60s, didn't admit women until around the same time. So we're still in the relative infancy of UVA, which was founded in 1819, actually acting with any sense of, let's see, equal opportunity at the heart of Virginians and Americans' lives. Here's another follow-up from our AAUP guy, Dr. Timothy Gibson. Does the Board of Visitors want to wind back the clock to a time when racism, sexism, and homophobia went unchallenged at UVA and when the benefits of the UVA education were only available to a privileged few? We know the answer to that.